An impact drill is a power tool that's tough enough to bore through hard materials, such as brick, stone, and concrete. It can also drive screws into softer materials like wood. An electronic impact drill has the added feature of a switch that amps up the drill speed if the job requires it. An impact drill is comprised of the drive unit, the back part with the electric motor, and the gear unit, the front part containing the motor-rotated spindle that turns the drill bit. To make the housing for the gear unit, the factory furnace melts down solid aluminum. Then an automated casting machine injects it at high pressure into a mold with 6 housing-shaped cavities. Once the machine cools the mold to re-solidify the aluminum, a robot removes the hot housings and submerges them in water to cool them. The robot then places the housings in an automated stamping press, which cuts off the connecting metal, separating the housings. A computer-guided milling machine finalizes the shape of each housing and forms a collar for attaching a second handle that provides extra control when drilling through hard materials. Elsewhere in the factory, a computer-guided turning lathe shapes a solid steel bar into the drill spindle. Back to the gear housing now. A worker positions it next to a spindle assembly fixture. She lines up a grooved wheel called a ratchet wheel over the housing and inserts another one into the spindle fixture. Then she puts the spindle through this second ratchet wheel and inserts the first ratchet wheel into the housing with a press. The worker inserts the spindle with its wheel into the housing. This makes the 2 ratchet wheels so that they'll move up and down against each other when the spindle rotates. After installing a seal and retaining clip, she completes the gear unit by installing the gears that rotate the spindle. An automated injection molding machine, meanwhile, produces the plastic housing for the electric motor. The machine makes 2 housings at a time. The motor is made up of a stationary component called a stator and a rotating component called a rotor. A worker inserts the stator into the housing, pushes it down into position with the press, then secures it with screws. He mounts the electronic unit that lets you regulate the speed of the spindle. After installing a flange, the worker inserts the rotor and presses it into position. The rotor has a fan attached to cool the running motor. He connects the electronic unit to the motor. Now everything comes together. Using an assembly guide, a worker positions half of the drill's plastic handle, then wires the motor to the switch that's connected to the electronic unit. Moving the switch increases or decreases the drilling speed. Next, she takes the drill's power cable, applies a device that prevents the cable from kinking, then screws the cable to the switch. The worker closes it all up by affixing the other half of the plastic handle. This completes the assembly of the back part of the impact drill known as the drive unit. A worker places the gear unit onto the drive unit. An automated machine screws them together. Every impact drill this factory produces undergoes performance testing and a critical safety test. If the tool passes inspection, the spindle gets awarded its chuck. The chuck is the component that holds the drill bit. A computer-guided laser engraver marks the model number and all the technical data on the motor housing. Then, workers pack the electronic impact drill along with the second handle and accessories into a sturdy plastic carrying case. With this tool in your kit, you've got license to drill.